Hey, Facebook family and friends. Thanks for hopping on. I just got off work. My hair is flat because it's been in my hat all day. I didn't refresh my makeup. I'm coming on here just basically to really kind of talk to you about like what your future holds. And I just got done watching a fellow coach of mine on a video that she was sharing about everything going on in her life and what this program and coaching and all the things. She's a nurse, and she was just sharing, and I was just like, that is so powerful, and it really compelled me to come on here and speak to you guys about everything that's going on in the world today. Um, there's a lot of people that are unsure of their health because of everything that's going on, everything that's gone on in the last year. And they're unsure of their health, they're unsure of their jobs. There's just so many requirements now. A lot of people, like, and I'm not saying vaccine or not vaccine, but they might not be ready to do a vaccine or something, and their jobs are, requiring them to get vaccinated, and they feel pushed into things, and they're still like kind of questioning, but they need that but money and that income, and so they feel like kind of forced, and all these things happening are like kind of out of their control, and so there's a lot of stress going on with everybody out there. And so I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about like the things that you can control in your life. And, there's a lot of people that have been affected, have friends and family that have been affected with COVID. I think we all know somebody who's had COVID. I think we all know people who have passed away from COVID, but we also know a lot of people who have survived COVID. And there's some wacky old side effects to all of the stuff, and people who've got vaccinated and got COVID, and all these things that are going on. And it's just like one of the things that we can really take control of in our life is how we actually, feel, or how we actually take care of our bodies, right? So I know a lot of people are stuck, and a lot of people get stressed out, and they're stress eaters and stuff like that. So all of these things, the mental part of of your health, also it plays into like how you handle your emotions. And you might be somebody who doesn't eat, you might be somebody who does, overeat, you might be a stress eater, you might be exhausted. And like me, one of my triggers to overeat is if I'm tired. I'm like one of my things, and all these things all come together and really can affect all parts of your health. And when you also are like, in that position, like last year, of like people, having to come home because they didn't have childcare, because childcare facilities were closed and businesses were closing, and all these things were happening, and very, very much out of our control, out of our comfort zone. And now things are going back to normal. And then now California is again going to try and, have masks again on Saturday. It's just like this vicious cycle. And I just want to encourage you guys to kind of look at like where you think your life is going to be next year. Gosh, I'd say 5 years, but I mean, the way things are going, where's your life going to be in 5 years? Where's your health going to be in 5 years? And like, what are the things that you can actually do yourself to take care of that? So a lot of people, they get, we all have been to the doctors, you guys. And when we get to the doctors, right, we wait and wait and wait to get seen. And then when we get seen, the time with the doctor is so brief. And so, a lot of times they're telling you, well, you just need to get healthy, just eat healthy and exercise, right? Why do they say that? Because that's all that they have time to say, right? And because most people won't do that, and because the doctors know that about them, they are medicating them, right? They're giving them medication. And medications can be necessary. I'm not saying that they're not, but also there are a lot of times they're telling their patients and stuff that these things, if you would just lose some weight, then this wouldn't happen. And that happens a lot of times when people have diabetes and stuff, because, they're overweight and their sugars are all off, and the stress and everything. So they are, being medicated with metformin, and there's other stuff out there, or they're, having to take insulin. And those kind of things are, unless you're a type 1 diabetic, which you can be born with, those things can be controlled with nutrition. But, the doctors are so stressed out and they have so little time, they don't have time to do all that kind of stuff. So, what I want to say to you guys is that, what I have done for myself, because I was in that cycle, I wasn't having to be on any medication or anything like that, but I was overweight. I wasn't happy with myself. I was stressed out. I was tired. I was exhausted. My family was getting the crumbs when I would come home, because by the time I got home from UPS, I was exhausted, right? And so they didn't really get the best part of me. Guess who got the best part of me? UPS got the best part of me, because they had 12 to 14 hours of my day. And that was like, I was in survival mode. Because why? Because my family needed the income, my family needed the insurance. And so all of these things are tied up in our life. And so when I started this getting healthy, I just wanted to feel better, and I just wanted to have energy, and I just wanted to get into my smaller shorts, because I was like looking like a busted can of biscuits in my uniform, which I didn't really realize till I saw a picture of me. And so, like, give me a one if you've ever seen that picture that somebody posts on Facebook or just shares somewhere, and you were just like, oh dear Lord, right? You don't realize that you look like that. But that was kind of like, but we are going to have, all of us have some type of moment like that, where it's like, you're like, I've had enough moment, right? So that was where I was at. And so I started this program in the craziest time, which I've heard so many people say, oh, I can't do it because the holidays are coming up. Well, I was just tired of it, because listen, if I didn't start during the holidays, I was going to have to up the size on my shorts. And so what was going to happen in the holidays if I up the size of my shorts? I have more room to grow. And that was what I didn't want. So what was really cool is that for my busy lifestyle as a UPS driver, it was the most convenient thing I've ever done, because everything was done for me. It was a no-brainer. And because I didn't have time. I mean, I tried meal prepping, and I tried to do all the things, and I would pack my lunch bag, right, with the ice in there, and I put it in the back of the package car, and I'd drive around, and the ice would melt. And so I'd have to try to eat stuff really quickly because it was going to go bad. And then I would still have gaps in my day where I needed something to eat. And when I was eating, which I didn't learn till later, I was eating because I was hungry, right? Now I eat for energy, which is a total switch, right? Total switch. So now when I eat, I actually feel my body charge up, right? And it's not that it's because the stuff that I'm eating is like based out, it's scientifically based to actually give my body the nutrients that it needs. And when I was going into 7-Eleven because I needed to get something, I was like, let me get a large, like, Diet Dr. Pepper, right? And some water, and let me get some sunflower seeds, and let me get some beef jerky, and let me get some, I'm thinking protein is what I needed. But I had no clue. So I would come home, I would eat that, then I would come home and I would be exhausted. And so when I got on this program and I did it through peak season, and all the treats that are on all of the receptionist desks as we go in at UPS and deliver into these offices, when you are tired and you're stressed out and you're worn down, those are super easy to grab. They're so easy. You're like, chocolate, that's what I need. Sour candy, that's what I need. And, I would take like 4 of them, 5 of them, and I put them in my pocket, and I would just eat them throughout the day. And that wasn't helping me. So I lost all my weight, my 35 pounds in 3 months during peak season, which was all the way through the holidays. So instead of gaining weight, on January 1st, like I always did, I was actually like from a size 12, a tight size 12, down to like a size 4, which blew my mind. But the real things that came, the real amazing things that came is when I finished, and I had that fear of like, oh God, I'm just going to put this back on. And my coach had asked me to coach like the whole time. And I was like, I don't have time to coach. I'm so busy and da 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 da. I don't want to coach. And when he told me that I'd be 5 times more likely to keep my weight off, that kind of piqued my interest, because I thought, well, I've been doing this yo-yo thing for 30 years. So when I started for accountability, but what happened blew my mind. So let me share a little bit, and this probably will help you kind of understand. So at UPS, the area that I was working was not always the nicest area, right? But I was a good driver, so they knew I could get the job done. And so there was another driver that had less seniority than me, and he was not as fast as me. And so they would send him to the nicer areas that were closer, and they would send me out to the ghetto. And I was like, I don't want to work in the ghetto. Like I would feel better working in, a better area. But they would say, well, they'd offer me, and so I have a lot of UPS friends on here, so they'll understand this. When I am an air driver, right, I'm a combo, which means I work inside and I have an air driver, so I deliver early AMs and next day air. I don't touch any package that's ground because that's out of my job classification. But when they offer it to me and I take it, they have to pay me like $7 an hour more for the whole day. Like even when I worked inside. So they always had me because I needed that income to say, well, it's the ground is in the ghetto. The ground is in the ghetto. The ground is in the ghetto. And so I would have to take it. And I didn't want to. I really didn't want to. It was hot out there. It was dirty. When I say that there's like stray dogs running all around, there's stray dogs all around. And when it's like 90 degrees, so that means it's like 120 in the back of the package car, you don't want to shut the doors. You need them open because you need that cross breeze. The two doors and 40 is our air conditioning. So when I'm delivering and there's dogs running around and I'm fearful that, and believe me, I've had them try to get in my truck, and anybody who's here is a UPS driver will know. I just didn't want to work there where there were either pit bulls or there were chihuahuas. And the chihuahuas, everybody has a fence, a gate, but the slots are this big and the dogs get right through. So for me, it was all about like, I love dogs, but I don't, I don't want to get bit by one. So when I started bringing in income, this is what my point was on the finances. When I started bringing in income and started realizing that I was bringing in more income per hour for the time that I was putting in than I was at UPS when I was delivering ground, that gave me power. That gave me power to say, you know what, you guys, if you want to give me ground, I'll take it in these two cities. And if there are these two cities, you can give them to somebody else who really does need that money because I can make more money at home on my terms. And they said, oh, you're turning down work? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely, I am. I can go home and with my money, with my business, I can generate income. Wow, you guys, guess what they did? Because I went, like I said, I'm a good driver. Guess what they did? They started giving me the good areas. Guess why? Because they wanted me to work. Okay, they wanted me to do that. So a lot of people this last year, they are just like thankful that they have the job and they're looking for one and two, two jobs, and they're working their jobs all day, any hours that they can. And then they're, doing Postmates and all these other things and DoorDash and all these things just so they can bring in that income. And it's not that much, but the real problem is they're not seeing their family anymore. So time is something that you never get back. Money is something you can always make, but time is something that you can't make. So being able to be home with my family and have this business on my terms and when I want to do it has been amazing for me. So when I started coaching, I had that option, which was really incredible. And my coach used to laugh at me because we used to get paid. I used to get paid paper checks because I didn't want to do the whole bank thing. And I would collect these paper checks, and he'd be like, "Aren't you depositing those?" And I'm like, "Nope, I'm going to hold on to them because I'm saving for something. Like I just need to have the paper checks so I can look at them." And so, like my first purchase, I bought a Polaris razor, which was something that I really wanted because I used to be very into dirt bike riding. But when I broke my collarbone and found out I was pregnant with my daughter Summer, who's going to be 14 in just a little while, I kind of lost my cojones on the dirt bike. And so I said, let me have something a little smaller. Because, for 7 years, I was teaching her how to ride and I wasn't on the big bike. I was just kind of hanging out at camp. Um, So they gave me options for all of us to go riding, right? All of us could go riding together. I could go and join everybody and not worry about it. And it's so fun. And then another thing that the income had allowed me to do was my husband and I have been living in this house, and it allowed us to remodel our house, which is always the plan. But we lived here probably like 17 years before we remodeled. But I never thought, I mean, it was always like, I don't know where we're going to get the money. I don't know where we're going to get that money. But the really cool thing is, because of that income, when my husband's work closed, he just came home. He just came home. And so last year, when that whole COVID thing hit, my daughter was, middle school, but she had her dad here the whole time. So while she was at home, he was at home, right? And he was taking care of all the stuff, like, he'd go and shopping, and he was cleaning and doing laundry and all stuff. And I would work at UPS. I'd come home and help people get healthy. And then I could spend time with my family, and we could go places anytime I wanted to, because I have lots of hours. I mean, lots of vacation at UPS because I've been there so long. And if he would have had to get a job, like, it doesn't matter. My vacations wouldn't mean anything, because he couldn't be on vacation because he wouldn't have vacation. So all these things that have been possible have given me plan Bs, right? I have a plan B. There was a lot of time like that I thought, oh yeah, I'd love to retire when when I hit the golden 80 thing. But as I came closer before this, I kept going, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to do that, because it doesn't seem like there's going to be enough income. Like, I have a pension, but it's not going to be, what I make when I'm driving. And so I passed my 80, and there's one more thing I'm going to do at UPS. And so I've extended it a little bit, but that's by choice, not because of necessity, because I have one more thing that I'm going to learn how to do. And that's, I want to learn how to drive the big rigs that, and just in the yard, that back up the trailer, right? Because if you guys can see, this thing that I'm sitting in right now is our 43-foot fifth wheel. And I need to learn how to back this up so I can share driving responsibilities with my husband. So after that's done with UPS, after I get some really good practice, then I'm going to retire. But, all these things to say that, with the job losses last year, and then if you didn't lose your job, like the pressures that you were putting into, like nurses, like there's people who love nursing, but they're nursing. I mean, I have clients that are nurses. I have friends who are coaches that are nurses, and the whole thing that happened last year made a lot of them just want to come home. They love helping people still, but a lot of them couldn't leave because they didn't have options. A lot of them had to leave because they didn't have childcare. Like, so many things are tied to that, but they still love helping people, right? So all that there's a lot of people that are nurses that are doing this with us. Another thing is, when you go to the doctor and they give you a prescription or they tell you to diet and exercise, they're not addressing the real issues, right? It's the lifestyle, it's the mental thing, right? And usually you're going to have to go to another doctor. You have to go to a therapist. You're going to have to go to this. You're going to have to go to that. All these different doctors kind of trying to tell you what to do, right? Different appointments and insurance and copays and stuff like that. And I'm not discounting anybody who needs to go. But what I'm telling you is, when we get healthy together, when you work with me, we're going to be working on your educational part of it. Helps you to work on your thoughts, work on your surroundings, work on your lifestyle changes. All of these things are in there, and it's at your pace. It's comfortable because you're really answering the questions for yourself and creating this. So what I want to say is that, like, do you have a plan B? Do you have a plan B for your income? Do you have a plan B, on getting healthy? Because I hear all the time, I'm doing keto, I'm doing this, I'm doing wraps, I'm doing, whatever. I don't want to mention any business names because I'm not trying to, disrespect somebody else's livelihood. But these are just kind of masks, and they're not dealing with the real issues. And the real issues are the mental part of things and why you actually do what you do, right? Nutrition is part of it, but why are you reaching for that cake? Why are you reaching for that wine? Why are you reaching for that beer? Why are you reaching for the chips? Why are you reaching for the Mexican food? Sometimes it's because you're hungry, but a lot of times it's a mental thing and you just keep going and going and going. So, I just wanted to share with you guys because I know there's a lot of people out there that are searching for answers and they really have no idea that they have options. Because I can tell you, I didn't think I had options. When I started getting healthy, never considered coaching. I actually kept telling my coach no. But as things came on, and the accountability was what I was looking for. And then all of a sudden, I started working on personal growth. And then I became a better mom. And then I became a better wife. And I became a better worker. And I became a better everything. I became kinder to myself. Um, I noticed my triggers. I created new neural pathways. All these things are that, I invested in myself. I never invested in myself because I didn't think I had it in me. I thought of it as a financial thing. But if you don't invest in yourself, why would you expect anybody else to invest in you? Like, you have to start with you, right? You need to invest in yourself. You need to prioritize yourself. You need to prioritize your health. You need to prioritize your behaviors, your lifestyle, your finances, all of the stress. You need to prioritize how to fix that. So this is not something that I thought I was ever going to do. I've been doing it for 6.5 years. It is seriously the best decision, besides my kids and my husband, that I've ever made, because it's just, it's wow. Like, I know that there's no stopping me, and that when I retire, I have purpose, I have mission. I get to help other people create their whole new lives. I get to help them create communities. I get to help them create better health. I get to help them create better examples for their family. I get to help them believe in themselves. I get to help them have confidence in themselves. I get to help them, you know, help their families because they're showing up better. So if you guys are looking for a plan B, I'm always looking for people to join me. And you can join me on just getting healthy. You can join me on getting healthy and helping others. You can join me in just the financial part of it and working on that. You can join me as just for personal growth, because I'm just telling you guys, it'll blow your mind. You are not done. Just because you're out of high school, just because you're out of college, does not mean the learning stops. It means that you just fell into line with what everybody else has been doing. But there's a whole brand new world out there, you guys, that you have no idea. And the amount of the quality of people that are going to be around you and supporting you on your journey all the way through, I just got to say, it's the best thing that I've done. So just reach out to me. Let me know. You guys your best investment is to invest in yourself. Personally growing yourself is your best investment. If you don't personally invest in yourself, who's going to? Who's going to? If you don't personally invest in yourself, who suffers? You do, and so does your family, right? Because you're not your best self. So stop giving your family crumbs of like what's left of you at the end of the day, and reach out to me, and let's like do a strategy session. You can share with me what you're looking to do, what your dreams are. I can help you dream. What if your life was 10% better next year because you started doing the work? What if it was 365 days or 365% better because you got 1% better every day? Are you worth it? I know I guess for a while I didn't even know if I was, but I know I am now. So I want to help you find your worth and value. So get with me, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for hopping on. I do appreciate it. Share this video with anybody who you think could use it, because I know I was watching my friend's video and it inspired me to do this one. We all have different people we can reach, right? We have different friends. She's a nurse, and I know I can reach a lot of people who are UPS drivers or just people who do manual labor. And we still want to count, right? You guys, you do count. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.